Hey guys, I'm coming at you in gorgeous Clearwater, Florida. I'm at the Casanova restaurant in downtown Clearwater, and they've got music playing in the background. It's awesome here, so the music's on them this time. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about composition. My sister took pictures of me this past week, and it was really fun. And she's not a photographer. She's one of those girls that kind of always had her camera with her, just taking snapshots of her friends at birthday parties, but she never really shot professionally. So I wanted to talk her through a little bit about how to compose an image that will change it from looking like, oh, I just picked up a camera and snapped this picture, to look more like a professional image. So we're in the car, we're driving to St. Pete, and I just give her a quick 3-minute rundown about what I'm about to just tell you. And I mean, seriously, like, we were rushed because the sun was kind of going down, so we didn't have a lot of time. So I was like, all right, in 3 minutes, I'm going to explain this to you. So the first thing I told her was, pay attention to everything that's in the viewfinder. Everything that's in that square. Make a decision whether or not you want that to be in the image. If you don't, then move. Change angles, change perspectives, change your subject, so that you get the shot that you want. Don't just click because you're there. Actually be intentional about what's in your image. Another thing that I talked to her about with composition was the rule of thirds. So I told her to take the viewfinder and divide it into 3 parts, and then divide it into 3 parts again. Where those lines intersect is where you want your subject to be. Our eye is naturally drawn to things that are not perfect, which is great. But no, our eye is drawn to things that are not perfect. So by taking your subject and putting them a little bit off-center, it really changes the dynamic and the feel of your image. The other thing that I talked to her about was lighting. Pay attention to where the light is. In this case, because I was with her and because I am a photographer, I was really aware of that because I knew that she wasn't going to know to pay attention to the shadows on the face. But when you're taking pictures, if you just slightly change your subject to face the direction of the light, you'll get a nice soft glow, and it'll allow your camera not to do so much work with a really harsh flash. The other thing that I talked to her about too was pay attention to the dynamic of the subject. Now, since we're sisters and since we're giggling and since we're having a great time, that wasn't so much of an issue because I knew in the end the images that I wanted, and I knew if I wasn't going to push myself and break out of my box a little bit, I wasn't going to be happy. So I just laughed and we just had a great time. The other thing that I really wanted her to pay attention to was how her subject was interacting with the rest of the background. Since she's not a photographer, I set up my camera, and what I really wanted was really close, intimate pictures because of the fact that I put everything out there. I have a blog that has a lot of really intimate stuff on there. How I want to present my business is I want people to feel like they know me. I want them to feel like they're up close and personal. So what I told her was, I want you to get close. I don't want long distance shots. I don't want me standing the distance. I want you to be really, really close to me. And what that did with the background, with the way that I set up the camera, I put my f-stop at a 2.8, which blurred everything else in the background. So really the focus was just on me and being up close, and it's really strange for me to even be in front of the camera since I'm so used to being behind it. But in this case, as I wanted to present myself in a way that's really authentic to me, I wanted everything to feel a little bit more intimate, a little bit more cozy, a little bit more close, since that's just generally how I am when I'm just hanging out, when I'm goofing off, and even how I am in my business. I really wanted that intimacy there. So I explained that to her, and there were a couple times during the session where I'm like, no, Leisha, you need to come forward. I want you to be really close. I want this shot to be really tight. And she was really awesome. She totally rocked it out. I'm so happy with the picture. So Leisha, you did a great job. Awesome, girl. Like, you'll be my second shooter in no time. I'll train you up. Don't worry about it. But no, she did a really, really great job, and I was really happy with it. So there were a couple times during the session she's like, oh my gosh, there's so many things to think about. And really, I could not have described photography more than when she said that in that statement, because we have the technical aspect, we have the composition aspect, we have the lighting, and then we also have the personality that we're working with. And let me tell you right now, these are all things that Uncle Bob is not thinking about when he's shooting your wedding. I can't stress that enough. I talk to brides all the time that, oh, you know, I have a friend that maybe will do it. Oh, I have my uncle that will maybe shoot my wedding pictures, and I just think in the back of my mind, oh my gosh, I hope there's no trash cans in her images. Like I just want her to like get awesome images. And you know, it's awesome. I love you, Uncle Bob. Like, you're great. Thank you so much for being willing to help out. But there is an aspect of photography that uncles are just not going to know about. They don't have the practice. They don't have the time invested into it. So keep that in mind. Hope you guys have an awesome week. Rock on, and I'll talk to you again soon.